Greetings to you. Greetings and a happy holiday. Welcome to Uncensored Guyana. I'm Dr. Prasad. I have a slight vocal discomfort, but I'll try to make sure that whatever is being communicated, that you hear me well. I beg for your patience and your understanding. This program is not suitable for members of the opposition of Guyana, the PNC, the WIN, and persons who are overly sensitive. To the rest of you, welcome. Now let's get on with it. Here what the thing is. Here what my thing is. It has always been my position. I've been hinting it, on and off, but I think now I'm going to elaborate more on these actual reality so that you, the average Guyanese, must understand. I'm going to start with Barbados. I have ancestral roots there, but that's just what it is, ancestral roots. There are a lot of people there in Barbados that are related to me. Doesn't mean I can't pronounce on the issue regarding Barbados. One of the only countries in CARICOM, in the Caribbean, the so-called Caribbean community, that has always been friendly, accommodating to Guyanese is Trinidad. Trinidad and Tobago has always been welcoming. Whenever they have another president, a prime minister in Trinidad, they have two sides there, so to speak. They have the black side and they have the Indian side, just like Guyana. Whenever they have a black prime minister in Trinidad, the discrimination against Guyanese steps up. They don't look at the fact that, hey, that person may come from Guyana, but that's a black man. No. It's about ethnic identity with some of the Caribbean islands. If you're not an ethnic Afro-Trinidadian, it matters not if you come from Guyana. As long as there's a black government in Trinidad, they discriminate. Somehow the policies that has been extended and handed down, they have issues with Guyanese. If it's not trade, politics, business, whatever, tourism, whatever. When there is an Indian government in Trinidad, in other words, an Indian prime minister, the situation changes. Trinidad becomes welcoming, becomes accommodating, becomes friendly overnight to Guyanese. Unfortunately, the situation with Barbados is that Barbados is a pro-black island. The whole system is Negro. There is no space there for anybody else. And they have an exclusive identity. The same way some countries in Africa treats the blacks from other countries to say, you're not one of us. You were a slave, you were captured. Somehow this thing with Barbados, this identity that the black people in Barbados have, is that they're unique. They're better than the blacks in Guyana. They're special. You're coming to our island because we're better than you. That's the attitude that a lot of the beige and the blacks in Barbados, the ethnic blacks, as they like to say that, in Barbados have against Guyanese, Afro-Guyanese. Discrimination. There's always a hassle. There's always difficulties. They treat you like a third-class citizen, like you come from a third world, as in really third world country, and they are in the first world. Barbados have had consecutive black governments, and they've never been accommodating to Afro-Guyanese. Never. There's always a problem, always a problem. You come from Guyana, they treat you like a nigger there. There they treat you like a nigger if you come from Guyana. So it's not surprising to me when the issue was there building up, when Maduro wanted to annex Essequibo, when all the rhetoric and all the bad mouth and all the shit he was saying, when Guyana ran to the Security Council, when Guyana ran to the UN, the OAS, the CARICOM this, CARICOM that, and all of these useless organizations, Guyana ran for rescue. The president exhausted himself and the Foreign Affairs Ministry with the Legal Affairs Ministry to go to seek to bring the Caribbean together towards the agenda that don't invade Guyana. Did you see the attitude that CARICOM had? I don't want to interfere. I don't want to interfere. They just say some shit and that's it. Further than that, Guyana, you're on your own. You're on your own. They did not have that issue when Guyana had a black government, a black president. They were always running to stand with Guyana, to support Guyana, to this, to that, always. But this is a conspiracy that somehow has credibility, that whenever there is a PPP president or government governing Guyana, we're isolated. We're isolated. All of these CARICOM countries seem to have an issue with Guyanese citizens. But when it's a black government, they love you. My theory is, and I've been saying it before, because CARICOM is largely Negroes. Almost all the countries in CARICOM are governed by black governments, black prime ministers, black presidents, almost all. This is why Guyana can never count on them. Never count on them. So the Bajan prime minister, this black woman, had issued statement regarding her disapproval of the Americans' presence in the Caribbean and the whole fight against drug cartels, the whole fight against this. There's a lot she had to say. That's documented. That she didn't really took that position when Venezuela was trying to get Essequibo. That passion that she has and she's been showing about, oh, we don't want this in our backyard, oh, we don't want this. Why didn't she have it when Venezuela was fucking around Guyana? Why not? The time when CARICOM should stand, because drugs, narcotics, illegal businesses have devastated economies, have destroyed lives, have killed a lot of citizens. Now is the time they're supposed to come together and stand behind the American government to end this once and for all. Guyana had a recent bombing from by Venezuelan nationals. How much CARICOM countries came out and condemned it? How much of them condemned it? How many of them said it was wrong? Did we hear from the UN? Did we hear from the OAS? Did we hear from all of these organizations that are coming out and are touting now about, oh, we want peace, not in our backyard, not in our backyard? Because they all have what you call silent jealousy for President Irfaan Ali. They had it when Jagdeo was president. And every time there's a PPP government in Guyana, somehow the Caribbean community, they play social distancing. Because it's racism, they're all racist. They're all racist. But when there's a black government, oh, they celebrate. As if the Caribbean is owned, it belongs to black people. So no Caribbean country should be governed by any other government than those that looks Negro. So the rhetoric that's coming from the Bajan Prime Minister seemed to be in favor of Venezuela. Seems to be in favor of Venezuela. She's forgetting that this is the country that wanted to destroy Guyana. There is a close, very close ancestral connection between Barbados and Guyana. A lot of the Guyanese in Barbados and a lot of the Guyanese in Guyana, blacks, are related, closely related. Second cousin, third cousins. They're basically relatives. She would know that. And the fact that you have a country that is largely an extension of Barbados in terms of bloodline, you would want your country to stand behind it, because if that country is bombed, it's your relatives that are being bombed. It's your family. But you're going to side with the enemy. You're going to talk for the enemy. Look at the people that lives in Venezuela. The Venezuelans have a caste system. A caste system. You know what a caste system is, right? The darker you are, the lower you are. The people who are heavily impoverished in Venezuela, they can't afford to leave the country. They don't have the resources to leave the country. They're living like pigs. Are black people. A large percentage, I think maybe 70% of the Venezuelan population are black people, Africans. But the Venezuelan media, like a lot of the Caribbean, Latin American media, like Argentina and Chile and all these places, they don't show you those people because they don't want you to think that those countries have native black people who were there long before these light-skinned ones come around. They don't want you to see that. So every time you see something coming out of Venezuela and Brazil and Colombia, you see light-skinned people, people that resemble white people. You never see black people. You wouldn't think that, oh, black people are there. No, they are the majority. In Venezuela, they're the majority. In Colombia, they are the majority. But you wouldn't know that. So when you are extending your sentiments in favor of Venezuela, you must understand that consecutive Venezuelan government, including Chavez, and this other one that the Bolivarian whatever, they suppressed, they oppressed the blacks in Venezuela. They oppressed the blacks in Venezuela. They're the ones who served them. They put them in the military on the front lines. They always get the lowest of the lowest jobs. Same caste system. Colombia the same way. But people you don't know this because we are obsessed with this stupidity. That, oh, the Americans want to get us, oh, the Americans want to get us. Look at what's happening in those countries on the ground. So for a prime minister of Barbados, she should have the facts. She should know that you're prime minister. Your people should educate you, say, hey, this is what's happening. But to say you're standing against this initiative And you very well would know, Mia Monthly, that drugs, narcotics, affects black people more than any fucking body else. Narcotics. What affects white people is things like fentanyl and these kinds of liquid chemicals and things like that. But cocaine and these other stuff don't really affect white people like that. But they destroy black people. They destroy black people. Because cocaine was invented for the total annihilation of the Negroes. Total annihilation of the Negroes. That was the purpose of cocaine being invented. Because the countries where cocaine largely naturally grew, it don't affect the people who use it because they don't use it the way it's been transported and exported to use. They use it in its natural state. They use it the same way blacks use marijuana. It don't do them anything. But when it comes out of those countries and it's filtered down into powder and then mixed up with chemicals and all these things, that was a carefully orchestrated, chemically designed plan and product to target the black man. You're worried about Bill Gates wanting to reduce the black population? No, that's what cocaine does. That's what crack does. That's what drugs does. So the fact that a country like Barbados that has issues with drugs and drug abuse and people dying from drugs, you would think the prime minister or the government would want to stand behind an initiative to rid the whole Caribbean of drugs. I like what my president said. I have no sympathy for drug dealers. I like that because I don't have sympathy for them. Bomb the hell out of them. You catch them smuggling drugs, jail them for life. I have no sympathy with these people. But a black prime minister who should be looking out for the interests of people that looks like her, to say that she has issues with the initiative of the Americans and Guyana to get rid of these narcotic places and deal with the Venezuelan government because they are an illegal government, a narcotic government. You have a lot to desire. It's an embarrassment. Really, I'm thanking the universe for the Trinidadian president, Kamala Prasad. Because if it was that Negro that she took the power from, if it was him, he hates everything about Guyana, hates everything about Guyana. If he was still in power, you think the Americans would have been assisted? You think, a matter of fact, Venezuela could have annexed Essequibo and he would just sit back and say, well, let them fight themselves, let them Indian and them blacks. I'm thanking the universe that Kamala won the election. Now she's facilitating the process because she understands, she knows how drugs, how smuggling, how these illegal activities, all these gangs, and all these prostitutes are destroying Trinidad. She knows, she sees the pain, she understands the ghetto. Barbados has a lot of ghettos also. Barbados have a lot of crime also. But it's black on black crime, is black on black in Barbados. So they keep it silent, they keep it quiet. They can't talk about the racism there. It's black on black. So it's no big issue. But it's devastating the island. I expect much more from that woman. But I understand. It's CARICOM. It's Blackicom. They don't recognize Indians. They have an issue with Indians. They're all jealous of Indians. In Trinidad, it's the same thing. The blacks are jealous of the Indians. In all of the Caribbean islands, look around. All the Caribbean islands, it is the Indian migrants who went to those islands that are developing those islands. And they're saying the Indians are stealing their wealth. But before the Indian migrated to a lot of the Caribbean islands were shit. The Indian people are building it and have been doing that for decades. For decades. Since the early 60s, 70s. Now they're the richest people in the Caribbean, and these governments are jealous. So because Guyana has an Indian president, they withdraw their support. Oh, leave them to themselves. You have to understand the sensitivity of the situation. It's a sensitive thing. Don't just stay on the outside and cuss Donald Trump and cuss the Ali government, but understand this is a concerted effort from all the players to see Guyana destroyed. And these fuck-ups in Guyana who keeps peddling this bullshit, they want to see the same. So they can get rid of Ali and put a Negro president, and Guyana continues to slide under. And this is what they will say. Oh, you got to be careful of these Guyanese. When they come to your island, they come to steal and they rob and they're criminals. Which Guyanese? That's another thing Bajan, the Barbados people love to say. The Trinidadian people love to say. But the question is, which Guyanese? You all know. Even in Suriname. Name the place. Every time in CARICOM, they're talking about Guyanese being violent, aggressive, angry, whatever it is. Who are they referring to? The Chinese from Guyana? The Portuguese from Guyana? The Indians from Guyana? No. Black people. The Bajan, the blacks in Barbados are discriminating. They have prejudice for the blacks from Guyana. The blacks in Trinidad, same thing. Around the Caribbean, same fucking thing. The Indo-Guyanese is not the problem. So I can't understand why, when the time comes, when the time is here, that CARICOM should really stand in solidarity with a common interest to clean the region of illegal narcotics. America bails out the whole Caribbean. The Americans have hundreds of billions of investment in Barbados. Without the Americans, Barbados is fucked. America is keeping that island afloat. Let's look at the Queen of Barbados, Rihanna. The Queen of Barbados, Rihanna. Who made her great? Who made Rihanna great? Mia Montley? Them niggas in Barbados? No. Not even Jay-Z. Because who made Jay-Z great? The people who made Rihanna great are Jews who are white, who are Americans. Again, America made Rihanna great. Made her a billionaire. Without America, she would have been singing in them clubs. Maybe she would have had like maybe 100 kids by now, and nobody would know who she was. It's the Americans who keep rescuing the entire Caribbean. So in this initiative, CARICOM should stand behind the Americans and Guyana, because Guyana continues to rescue the Caribbean also. How do I know that? They had offices in Guyana. CARICOM's head office is in Guyana. Guyanese are maintaining it. Most of the times when they go to Guyana, it's the Guyana government that's covering the expenses. So, and this is the time you need them to come and stand in solidarity with the two countries that are helping them out. How much aid did Venezuela send to Jamaica? How much aid Did any of the other countries, Latin America, send to Jamaica? Or when they had the hurricanes in the islands and so on? How much aid do they send? They don't send anything. It's Guyana who sends aid. Guyana who continues to support. So just because we have an Indian president, all of these fucking niggas are boycotting Guyana in this issue. But I'm not surprised. I'm disappointed, but not surprised. I'm happy that at least Trinidad we have a sensible prime minister there that understands the risk, and she's doing what she needs to do to protect her country and to protect her neighbors. Because just like Barbados, Trinidad has a large population of Indo-Trinidadians that have direct relation, blood relation to the Indo-Guyanese. They're looking out for each other, but the fucking niggas can't have the unity. See, blacks don't unite. They're gonna stand with Venezuela. CARICOM is standing with Venezuela. They couldn't stand with Guyana when Venezuela wanted to annex Essequibo, but now they want to stand with Venezuela. Well, Trump should bomb the whole fucking Caribbean. All of them who's standing with Venezuela, put them on the list. Put them on the list too. Sanction them. Block their citizens. Revoke their visas. Do the same shit. Because you are rescuing the whole Caribbean, and at a time when they should stand and call, they should join together and call for Maduro to step aside. That's what they should do. He cheated the elections that they had recently. He lost by at 70%. The woman, the opposition leader there, won the elections by a 70% margin. Why didn't they call him to step aside? Why didn't they talk about democracy? Why didn't they talk about fairness? Why didn't the UN Security Council come in and say, hey, no, Maduro, you lost the elections? Why all these people, like Russia and China and all these people, did not come in and say, no, listen, no, you can't do that. The woman won. We all saw the results. We know she won. Step the fuck aside. Why didn't they do that? None of them came out and condemned it. None of them talked about the illegitimacy of Maduro's presidency. None of them. The second consecutive election he rigged openly, just like Barnum. Just like Barnum. Barnum held Guyana for 28 years in slavery, in prison. How much CARICOM countries came out and condemned it? How much? The only country that continued to put pressure on Barnum was America. America opened up her doors to accept people from Guyana who wanted to flee the hardship under the Barnum regime. Don't get it twisted. America's always ready to rescue these ungrateful set of people. And now the time when they should stand behind the Americans for the greater good, they're saying, oh, we don't want to get involved. Oh, we don't want this. Oh, we don't want that. Don't forget your history. When we needed help, it was America who stood by us. All the problems, all the chaos, all the disturbances that happened in Guyana, it was the Americans who stood by us, not CARICOM. Not CARICOM. You need to take cognizance of that. We can't depend on CARICOM. CARICOM is really Blackicom. It's a black organization of countries. They represent the interests of black people. And so since in Guyana, the government is not black, they're like, no, we don't want to get involved. They're going to side with Venezuela. I say, fuck it. Let the Americans do what they got to do. As long as I know my president, he has doubled down on the position of Guyana's standing with justice with truth against illegal trafficking, against narcotics, against drugs, against crime, against gangs. That's all that matters to me. The president stated emphatically yesterday, the day before, that Guyana has no sympathy for cartels. None. It is good for our country. It is good for the region. If the Americans rid the region of corrupt governments, drugs, crime, and these gangs, it is good when the Americans do that. So the government of Guyana, under our great president, said we are with the Americans. We would always be with the Americans. I want to reiterate, I need to express and emphasize this. If it was not for the United States of America, don't forget it was Secretary Rubio who said, who warned Venezuela, not the fucking UN, not the UN Security Council. Now Maduro is running to the UN Security Council for help. Not even the UN Security Council could have stopped him from his illegal election to annex Essequibo. And he's running to the same body that couldn't stop him in his plan to take Guyana. Who stopped him? CARICOM didn't. Latin America didn't. Who stopped Maduro? Donald Trump. Secretary Rubio said, if he touched Guyana, the fire that is going to come on his head, that is what saved Guyana. America saved Guyana from Maduro annexing Essequibo. But we ain't completely saved yet. Because of all that's happening. On Maduro's way out, he wants to fuck up Guyana on his way out. And Trinidad, I must reiterate, and Trinidad. Let's hope they find him and they get him before he gets the chance to bring retribution on Guyana, because he don't want to go alone. He want to destroy a whole bunch of people and put those black people in Venezuela on arm's way. In arm's way. Let's hope so. And all the big mouth he has, they're looking for him. They're looking for him. They are. So when you're talking about Russia and China, when the Americans wanted to get Saddam Hussein, when George Bush, another Republican president, declared war on Iraq and was going after weapons of mass destruction, whatever the reason, we heard the same rhetoric from China. We heard the same rhetoric from Russia. The same thing from the UN. All the countries, the usual suspects, came out. We're standing with Iraq. We're standing with this. Same rhetoric. They all threatened America. If you do this, if you do that, what happened? What happened? Could the UN stop? Did the UN stop America from invading Iraq? With their mouth. They passed resolutions. Did it stop? How much years now since that happened? 2001, right? Same usual suspects are saying the same thing now. Oh, if the Americans bomb Venezuela, and it's a grave mistake. They said it then too. They said it about Syria. They said it about Libya. Same usual talking points. America will get Maduro, will reclaim their oil, will reclaim their land, and Russia and China will have to do what they do best: back off. The Colombian president, well, I'm beginning to like the guy now. No, really. I'm beginning to like the guy. I have look. I can change my mind. That's the thing about being me. I change my mind when I come upon more information. I like the Colombian president's response to Maduro. Maduro had his usual forced campaign rally, and the rally he had, and you see a few hundred people, they're all government workers. It was mandatory that they show up. Their salary and their jobs depended on it. They had to show up to create the illusion that the Venezuelan people are with their president. No, they're not. The people that you see at these rallies with Maduro, they're a handful. They're all employees of the government. They have to show up. So he was on his usual rampage, defying the Americans and cussing out Donald Trump and making his usual threats against Trinidad and Guyana. And he was saying that he's calling on the Colombian people to join Venezuela in the fight, calling on the Colombian military to join the Venezuelan military in the fight against the Americans. Who the fuck is Maduro? That's the same thing the Colombian president had to ask the question. Who the fuck is Maduro? You can't order my military. You got to focus on your shit. So the Colombian president might be thinking to himself, I'm already under a lot of fire from the Americans. They want to get rid of me too. And you going mouthing up and talking shit as if you and I had a discussion and we have agreed that we're going to join forces and fight against the Americans. No, there are people in Colombia that are spewing that out. So the rest of us think that the Colombian president, the Colombian government is ready to fight with Maduro. No, they're not. The president himself had to say, no. We may have had some history years ago, I think 50 years ago or 70 years ago, but that was then. Today is a different time. And you don't be in Venezuela, wanted by the Americans, with a $50 million bounty on your head and telling your people and ordering my people to say, hey, come with Venezuela. Who does that? It's like the Guyanese president telling the Suriname people, join the Guyanese fight. You don't have jurisdiction there. So the Colombian president had to put him in his place. Don't do that. Don't involve Colombia in your issues. But the Brazilian president, Lula, they do what they do best. Talk. But all the military combined in CARICOM, in Latin America, all of them combined, they can't do America shit. America can destroy the entire Caribbean, the entire Latin America, devastate all the countries in 6 months or lesser time. All they have to do is just to drop one of the nuclear bombs they have, and we're done. But they won't do that. So, folks of Guyana, when you get all of these things coming out of certain media houses around, especially via the PNC, you need to understand where your priorities should be. Your priorities should be where is best for you, in your best interest. And if you have listened, if you didn't go and watch the president's speech, if you had listened to the speech of the president, your president, my president, our president, about the plans and programs of his government, the position of the government, for the interests of the Guyanese people, for the best of the Guyanese people, if you had done that, you would understand that you should never click on anything coming out of the PNC or the WIN people. Never click on it. Because when Azradin is gone, that page that they run would be taken down. He would become a thing of the past. Then what? You would have to deal with the same people, people like Azruddin Muhammad was telling you to hate. And who are those people? The people that are employing you, the people that are giving you loans, the people that are importing and bringing supplies into Guyana so that you can experience what it is like to have a life. Let's dwell on that for a moment. See, I speak facts. I speak truth to bullshit. They talked about the president boycotted the opposition and held this speech in open air. Why couldn't he have done it in the parliament? For what? If he had to do that in a parliament, then who is he going to acknowledge? Who is the opposition? That issue has not been resolved. The opposition needs a leader. They all can't be leaders. So if the president, if that thing has been done, who is he inviting? The president can't send individual letters to all the members of parliament. He will have to address the opposition faction of the parliament. There is none. Okay? They don't have a leader. So therefore, you show up if you feel like. Nothing can be official to send you an invitation where you don't have a fucking leader. Select a leader. And because of the fact that you don't have a legitimate leader and you can't select one, you have to wait your turn. Next year, by then all this shit would be resolved. The Mohammeds would be gone. And then David Granger's daughter would be the opposition leader. And you can deal with that. Then you'll be fighting amongst yourself. Yeah. Amanza Walter. I know you hate the woman. You and her you'll be nagging at each other, nagging. You see, like was it in one of the parliaments, the Italian, I think, the Italy parliament, where the members of parliament, the women, it was such a circus. Is it? Yeah, I think it's Italy, or one of them. But the parliament has so many women. They were fighting, as in pulling each other's hair and slapping and biting, and grown ass women. Grown women. That's when you have too many of them around. That's what you get. Let's hope the Guyanese parliament don't reach to that level. You keep them at the minority. You know, a few, maybe you get like a 10%. 10%, so they won't fight each other. But right now in the Win Party, when this David Hines' daughter becomes the opposition leader, I am sure Amanza Walter Desir and that woman would be having constant fighting because they both like to nag. Not forgetting the referee, Fakmus. That, take it back. She and Fakmus. I know that Azruddin likes big girls, you know. He likes them fat, obese. Yeah, it's less work for him. Because when you have a woman that size, you don't got to work much. She just lays there like the triple bed, and you roll over, you roll, you go in. By the time you get out, you come. You got to do much. You don't need a long for obese women. This can do. But if the woman is plus size or she's skinny, you really got you might as well be hanging. I would know. Oh, did you hear what he said? Oh my gosh, he is so disrespectful. He is so vulgar. Oh my gosh, what kind of a fake doctor is this? What kind of a wannabe Indian? He calls himself an Indian and he can't even eat with his hands. A fake ass Indian. Oh yeah, those are the stuff they're telling me. So I'm repeating it. They're putting it in my head, so I'm repeating it. Okay? So Guyanese, like I said before, fuck the opposition. We don't have an opposition party. We don't need an opposition party. We don't need an opposition party. in Guyana. We have a lovely government. We have smart people, intelligent people from the PPP. Okay, they're good looking. My gosh, they're good looking. You don't need them fucking losers and they're always sad and angry and depressed. You don't need them. Keep the parliament suspended. As a matter of fact, you should turn the parliament into a university. Yes, that's a nice landmark. Choose another place for, a meeting place for, but turn the building into a university. It's at the right location. It has the space. Yeah, just do it as a multi-complex building. You have the university, you have other stuff you do there. Yeah, you don't need the opposition. Let them fight amongst themselves. We need to have a one-party state. A one-party state. So by time from now to the next election, Guyanese, let us make sure that we get rid of all the opposition people. Okay? Meaning, we don't talk about them. We don't acknowledge them. They are not important. Let us do our best to build the PPP to the position where we have 80% of all three arms of government. So we have a one-party state. Why not? You need these people to keep breaking stuff, keep destroying stuff. Look at the transformation of the Stabroek Market Square there. Look at what our beautiful Priya. I mean, she is cute. I can tell you, I know when women are pretty. There are some pretty, but didn't I say that Amanda is fuckable? I said it, right? She's fuckable. But Priya Manikchan, she is desirable. She's lovable, caressable. You gotta listen to her speak. I mean, Priya Manikchan, I'm talking about that Priya. You have to listen to her speak. When you listen to Priya speaks, you get goosebumps. Oh my gosh, it's so sexy, so soft, and so playful, I mean, for a woman of her age, and she can be so youthful in her articulations and the way she speaks, it's a turn on. There's a difference with being fuckable, just fuckable, and lovable. Fuckable is that with your eyes, you're like, okay, you're done, bye-bye. Lovable is that you want to hold on. You want to hug. You want to look at them in the eyes. You want to talk. You want to embrace. Priya is lovable. Imagine a president like that. She might be the first female president that is good looking. Look around the world. Are any of them good looking? So that's the difference with the women in the PPP and those from the opposition. Let them fight amongst themselves. Let Odessa Primus and this Rastafarian daughter of David Hines and Amanda Walter Desir and Simona Brooms. She's out of the picture, but she wants to get back in. Maybe she can make a deal with Norton, and Norton can fire one of these assholes he has and put her in there instead. Let them fight amongst themselves. They need something to do. Black women need to feed their toxicity. Black people want to know that they can complain about something. They can nag about something. This is why they don't want everything to go well in Guyana. They don't want that. Because the way things are going right now, and I tell you this, let me tell you this. Those Indo-Guyanese that you find are complaining about how life is hard in Guyana, look at where they live. Look at where they live. A lot of them live in black villages. They live amongst the black people. They start thinking and behaving and complaining like the black people. The environment influences you. So when they live among these Negroes in the ghetto, it suppresses their DNA, their genetics as Indians. So they live like blacks. They're lazy. They drink every day. They don't want to work. They complain. They bitch. They complain. They nag. They follow Ajudin Muhammad and they suck up to the PNC. Those Indians that does that, they live in the ghetto. The thing from the Negroes are rubbing off on them. You don't bother with them. The rest of Guyana, the black people who will live in largely populated Indian areas, they don't complain. They love their life. If you give them a free ticket and residency to go to the United States, they will tell you, no, they're happy in Guyana. They love their country. They don't want to leave because things are good. Life is affordable in Guyana. Things are good. People are getting by. They're going to have a beautiful Christmas. One, because the president retained one again. Two, because we have a PPP government. Three, because Guyana is beautiful. Crime is going down. Imagine that. Me saying that. Imagine me saying crime is going down. But it is. I want it to stop, not just go down. Stop. But the woman we have there, the Home Affairs Minister, she's applying pressure. So maybe by the time the next year is ended, we will have zero crime in Guyana. All them scraps and scrapes would be hanged, jailed, and sprayed off the streets. You wouldn't have them anywhere, nowhere. They would pursue them, get them, and get rid of them. By then, the ghettos will be clean. You would drive by and think, hey, there used to be a ghetto here. You'll be surprised. By next year, end of the year. The fact that the president has initiatives to improve the quality of education among the police, it's a good thing. Make the Guyana police smart again. Because when they're smart, when they're educated, when they are literate, they can apply the law better. It is not easy to corrupt smart people. So that's a good thing. Get the police educated. Those who don't have the CXCs, support them to go get it. Age doesn't matter. That's a good thing. I'm behind that. Again, it's the woman. Women always want the best for the family. And they're me thinking she wouldn't do a good job. I like her. Well, she's from the PPP, so what's not to like? She needs to gain some weight, but anyway, she's doing a good job so far. Bring the death penalty back. Kill them niggas who are killing people. If it's up to her, the Mohammeds would be out of Guyana. But it's not, it's out of her hands. Maybe the Bajan Prime Minister should be more like our Minister of Home Affairs. Maybe she should. But back to the point. Our government, under President Irfaan Ali, have outlined the programs and the plans and the policies for the next 5 years. Tell me, why aren't you rejoicing, Guyanese? Why aren't you rejoicing? Your future is secured. The man covered every area, even encouraging you to make more children. And every person in Guyana must be documented. See? That's Ali. Must be documented. Nobody running around undocumented. He sounds like Trump, but that's a good thing. Accountability to your citizens. Same position the Trump administration has. If you come to the United States, come through the legal means, so we have you on record. We know who you are. You'll be properly documented. You identified, we know that. Don't come through the back and we don't know who you are. You commit a crime, we can't know. So what the Ali government is doing, every person in Guyana must be documented. The police must randomly stop anyone, anywhere, and ask for their identification. If they don't have it, deport them. So he gave them enough time. Don't say you don't understand English. What the fuck are you doing there? Gave them enough time to get registered, documented, screened, vetted. So all of the people in Guyana is accounted for. And in whose interest is that? It is in the interest of the Guyanese citizen. It is in your interest, our interest, that the government is taking this initiative to make sure that everyone is accountable. Why the PNC has a problem? Well, okay, they would. Because when Granger was there, how much illegals came in the country? How much things happened they couldn't trace, they couldn't find out? So now we have this smart president with a smart common sense policies for the interest of our country, and all they can do is fucking bitch and keep bitching. Who listens to them anyway? Who listens to the fucking PNC? Who does? We're just counting down the days when this old saga with the fucking Mohammeds can be over with. That's all. We're just waiting for that. When that is done, when it's done and they're gone, what else is there? What else would be there to distract the Guyanese from the progress of their president and their government? What else is there? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. And the hen of Muhammad, the hen is looking for further attention, but she had to leave her vehicle somewhere parked because the PPP is policing her. These fucking things these people say, these lies they make up just for attention, just for clicks. I mean, daddy's money is not enough. You want clicks so that Facebook can give you a $50 for video. You guys should still have a few $billion somewhere hidden. Convert it into US dollars. But to make it seem like the Ali government is policing her for what? She ain't important. They're no threat. But they do these things just to play on the sympathy and emotions of the people who support them. So when the court brings down its verdict and say, okay, it's a credible thing, we are behind this, and the Mohammeds would have to go and face extradition. Then they can call all them scraps and fucking vagabonds and skunks to come out and, oh, free Muhammad. Free Muhammad. So they're building this thing up. But nobody's buying it. Nobody is buying it. People are just clicking on their videos because people are by nature curious. People are curious. They want to know, let me hear what she's saying. Let me hear what he's saying. They're thinking because they have a few views, they're relevant. People will watch anything. If you have a video that is 10 seconds of a woman, the video starts where it seems like she's taking her shirt off. People would click on it just to see if she's going to take the shirt off. It wouldn't do them anything. It wouldn't help their day, but curiosity. And by the time, while they're watching, the video ends and she's on the third button. But imagine 1 million people doing that. That's 1 million views. Only because people are curious. So people know that the Mohammeds are full of shit. And the Mohammeds, as Azruddin said, I'm not a man of many words. No, sir, you're not, because you're a fucking idiot. You are a low-life scum, unintelligent fool. So admitting that you are not a man of words is it's a real representation of your status. We all know that. You didn't have to say it. But since you said it, we agree. Now, when you say that, we expect you to shut up. Don't speak. But when you say you're not a man of words, however, what happened to the cash grant that the president promised? The president lied to the Guyanese. Where did he lie? Where did the president lie? I want to see the video where he said in December 2025, I'll be giving you 150,000 or 200,000 or even 100,000 Guyana dollars for Christmas. I want to see the video where he said that. No, he didn't. He said you'll have a wonderful Christmas. And so far, look around Guyana. Georgetown is on a roll. The city is beautified. I mean, gosh, you would think Santa Claus himself resides in Georgetown. Look at Main Street. Look at the Christmas Village. You would think it's the North Pole. The vision of Irfaan Ali, the president. The man likes beautiful things. I mean, look at his wife. I mean, she's not a thing, but she's damn well beautiful. Look at the country. Look at the Barjagdeo Bridge. Shall I continue? Look at Stabroek Market Square and what it will be transformed to. What were you complaining? They want to keep the Stabroek Market like a fucking dump, so all them undercover criminals and pimps can go put up some shabby looking stands, smoking marijuana all day, drinking beer, and they're grouping up there, spying on people shopping and passing by, so they can steal and rob and track these people. They want to keep it like that. Granger got rid of a lot of them, but they came back like fucking pigeons. Now the beauty of Priya Manichan and the awesomeness of President Ali, they want to transform Georgetown. That iconic place, Stabroek Market. Look at what it will become. Come on, tell me you don't want that. Of course you do. I mean, you're black, but you don't have to be ghetto. You don't have to be black and stupid. You don't have to be black and nasty. You can be black with a mentality from your neighborhood because you see your Indian brothers and sisters always aspiring for nicer things, wonderful things, great things. Don't be jealous of them because of that. Be envious to the point where you are inspired to want to be better than your Indian brothers and sisters. If an Indian person built a 2-story mansion, go build a 3-story mansion. If the Indian child excelled at CXC, you excelled at university. Compete at that level, not to destroy your country or your fellow citizen because of your jealousy. That's what the PNC would have the black people do. But I'm saying to the black people, take inspiration from your Indian brothers and sisters. They are the richest group, but they don't have to stay that way. Compete with them. Become the richest group. Build on their inspiration. Find out from them, what does it take? How can I get there? Trust me, Indian people like to talk. An Indian person, I'm closing now, an Indo-Guyanese businessman would more fast share his idea with a black man than another Indian. You Negroes, you like to say that, oh, the Indian people stick together. Yeah, culturally. It's a culture thing. But when it comes to their secrets in building and making money and being successful, They don't share that with each other. The other man has to learn the hard way. Indians don't give secrets like that. He know he had to work his ass off to get it, and he's like, okay, the other Indian man, you want what I have, you got to work your ass off too. But you know who they share it with? Black people. Because they want the black man to be stimulated. They would give you all the tools, all the knowledge. They would even help you start it with you for you to build. But they would not do it for another Indian. They do it for black people, but not another Indian. So why are you hating on the Indians? Why are you hating on them? Why are you discriminating against them? They have the tools that you need. Another black person would not do that. He wouldn't give you the secrets. He'd rather fuck your wife first or your daughter and promise to share shit with you. He will hire you to work for him and get you to do the hard job, but he will never tell you anything or another person anything. Your best bet, Afro-Guyanese, is to follow the Indian culture, the European culture, or the Chinese. These are the people that will help you, can help you, and will stand behind you. Following a black man, following a black leader, following black churches is to your own demise, your own detriment. They can't help you. They will destroy you. They will take from you. They will lead you down the wrong way. It's Christmas. And I thank you for your support. Remember, this program is funded by people like you. You can show your love today. Send your love gift via my Zelle account if you have Zelle. Or if you don't have Zelle, then you can use Western Union or MoneyGram and send your support, financial support. Send me a text on WhatsApp, the number there you see on my profile, or the number that you will see later on the video, and say, Doc, I would like to support you. How can I do this? Can I have your details? And don't be joking about it. Don't be joking about it. Okay? There's nothing funny about it. Until next time. Goodbye now.